immune system. Um, so hard to say, but I think in terms of getting rid of that stuff, probably what I've been doing with my doctor.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
Beautiful. So, the essence of life, like something that I'm realizing and practicing religiously, is that as soon as we wake up, and maybe I'm alone in this department, but I imagine all of you can relate to me. As soon as we wake up, there is a pull towards the doings of life. It's like wherever you are, whatever age you are, whatever job you have, in our own little world, we have the doings of life. We have something on the agenda for that day that makes us feel that we have, like, makes us feel stressed to get it done, to accomplish something, to make phone calls, to whatever it is in our world that we believe these tasks will help advance us in our life, right? And those tasks are literally never ending. This is what I realized about my life. The tasks that for me, it's increasing by every month. The amount of tasks that I take on goes up by 10%. Um, it never ends. No matter how much I get done that day, it never ends. The next day I wake up with a full plate of stuff, whether I have to go to the grocery store, answer this call, that call, text messages, 20 text messages I have to answer, 20 emails I have to answer. It's like no matter how much I do in that day, no matter how disciplined I am, no matter how focused I am, the next day an entirely new sequence of doings comes onto my plate. And what I learned is that the whole essence of doings, that whole paradigm of like, have to do this, have to do this, have to do this, is faulty in and of itself. Once the brain starts spinning in that direction, which it does every single day for me, no matter how much consciousness I put on it, once that is happening, we're actually lost in an illusion. We're lost in the mind. We're lost in a very small, tight world of this is what I actually have to do to move my life forward. Now, the opposite end of the spectrum is like meditating in a cave, and that's not healthy either. But I believe that if we can have like a force field around the essence of doing, and like literally physically and energetically create a force field, like to your cell phone, to your computer, to anyone who's requiring energy from you or doing from you, we create that force field and we say, no, this is an illusion. Like, yes, these things are important and they will get done, but it's an illusion to think that this is the most important thing in my life. My peace is the most important thing in my life. I transmit the best, most powerful lessons when I'm at peace. I'm the best and show up the best for my clients when I'm at peace. I make the best YouTube videos when I'm at peace. I make the most money when I'm at peace. When I'm spun in a cycle of doing is when I'm caught in some sort of illusion and some sort of trap that is really has to do with the mind, and it has to do with the astral body, which Matthew's probably the only other person who's done work on the astral body in this group. It has to do with basically our mind, and our mind is connected to uh, realms in spirit world, and the astral body will grip onto you via your mind and your body. And everyone has a different astral body. But anyway, the point is, I'm not going to get into that. The point is that it's a gripping. It's not your core essence. See, your core essence, Logan, I don't know you well enough to really point it out, but I can feel clarity inside of you. I can feel love. I feel your heart. I feel your core essence. This spinning CD that goes off on you every day is not your core essence. When we go into the believing everything that the CD is programmed to spin to, when we attach our whole body and spirit to that, we're trapped, right? And then you're small. You're actually small when you're in that world. Um, and you're much more vast and take up much more space when you're in a world of like an inch of space from it. Okay. And again, I I get shit done. So I am not saying to not get shit done, because I am like a workaholic at this point. But I recognize that um, I'm not at my best when I'm believing that all of that work and all of those tasks are the utmost important thing for me to move forward in my mission and in my purpose and in my life, right? Again, the most important thing. What's up, man? Yeah. You don't have any jumping cables? I can use my computer right now. No tengo, caballero. No. And I don't have a service in my phone. I don't know. Can I use the phone to call somebody? You can, but I'm on a group call right now. But how long are you gonna be? I'm thinking. I don't know. Guys, I gotta let this guy. I gotta let this guy use my phone. Hold on. Or how about this? In a half hour. I wait for you. I'll be here in a half hour. That'd be great. Yeah, just no problem. Not a problem. I'm just on a group call for my business. Okay. Thank you. Okay, I'll be here. So so again, the essence of doing, right? We must create a force field around this, and this is something I'm so diligently working on. And yeah, is that clear?
I think so.
And
yeah.
And the other, what is the I think so? Tell me more. I don't, when you say I think so, I don't believe you. What is it?
Yeah. Like,
did I use too many spiritual terms?
I don't know. Like maybe more tangibly, more practically, like when you creating that force field, is it just it's just sort of a reframing in your head where you're not.
That would be the yeah, correct. That would be the mind. The way to intellectualize this would be to basically reframe it. Yes. Reframe it in one's mind, which is essentially, it is an illusion to think that all of these things are the most important thing in my life, right? And it's not just a reframe, because there's actually patternings, and like the reason I say force field is because you could tell yourself all you want, like a mantra, like this is not important, this is not important. But right now, most people are having a full body experience to the stress of life. So we actually have to be present with our entire body, not just a concept in our mind. So when I say force field, it's more like you sit and you meditate and you push the world away from you. If you could feel what you're like when you're relaxed, the world is not coming down on you. Your phone, it's not coming down on you. As soon as you feel tight, recognize that the world is literally coming in on you, coming down on you, right? And so what we need to do is create a force field and actually consciously bring ourselves into the space of the world is not welcome here. Like the world of doing is not welcome here in my field right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Is that something you would do? Like you feel yourself getting caught up in it, and then you would just kind of like step back.
I shut everything down, close my laptop, put my phone on airplane mode, lay on the ground with a towel around my neck, and just say, nope, none of that matters. And when I hit a turning point, which is like when when I'm working too much, something happens where I start spinning and I start getting anxious. As soon as that happens, everything gets shut down. I don't care if I have a call in an hour, I'll cancel the call. And I'm just like, okay, nothing is as important as me catching my center. And you push the world away.
And over time, have you felt like that kind of retrains things? Because for me, that would be like, I would have to spend, I would go for half an hour and then I'd have to lay down and do that. And then probably half the day doing that.
Beautiful. That's the other piece I wanted to tell you. A lot of this has to do with the fragility of your mind. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's what is, which is you have all of these tasks, blah, blah, blah. And then there's your reaction to it as a stressed organism. You're a very stressed organism, having just gone through a year of chronic illness or more. So your organism is not going to respond in a healthy way to these seemingly minor things. That your capacity, like you're very stressed and tight right now. In a year from now, you'll be way looser and more relaxed, and it'll take a lot more to get you to that place.
Right.
That place will still happen. Maybe I wonder if that place happens for Tony Robbins. I wonder, because I know it still happens for me, and I'm already 3.5 years past my chronic illness, right? I think it's just part of life. Truly. I don't think it has to do with illness only. So I would say that you're going to constantly push your edge and take on more and more and get stronger and stronger in that department, and life will have less of a grip on you. But for you, you're not going to be in this. For you, again, it's not practical for you to do what I just said,
Yeah.
which is sit and meditate all day so that the world doesn't affect you. Now for you would be, okay, I'm spinning, I'm spinning, I'm spinning. Can I be okay with the spinning?
Hmm.
Can I still show up at work and still show up while spinning, right? That would be your practice right now, because
Hmm.
your spin is going to happen because your mind is still very fresh
Hmm.
out of sickness.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Is there
yeah,
okay, I won't take up any more
yeah.
time. I was just wondering,
You
like,
go ahead. You ask the question. If it feels quick,
okay,
I'll answer it. If not, I'll move
yeah.
forward.
Um, just like if there's any sort of barometer you might use to determine whether or not you should just like kind of ignore it and keep pushing forward, or whether you should take a step back and sort of reset yourself. Um, like, am I reinforcing the pattern by continuing to push when it's spinning? I don't know.
It's a beautiful question. I'm going to answer it because I know other people are getting benefit
Hmm.
from this, and that's part of the reason why I'm spending so much time on this. Um, this potentially could be like the most important subject that we've talked about throughout our entire 5 or 6 calls, just so you know, because this is how we become in the world, not of the world. Samuel Sagan of Clair Vision used to say, to be in the world, but not of the world. And that is, how can we manage our, our detox, our spiritual journey, our all of this, our chronic illnesses, whatever we label it as, and still show up in the world in a healthy way. So I think that you have to choose things that are important. Like, there are going to be phone calls and sessions. Like, for me, this is very important for me. If I lose power, if I'm sick, if I'm spinning, I'm going to take this phone call because I gave you guys my word that I will take this phone call. Now, what you want to create a relationship to your word, because this is how you create magnificent abundance and manifestation, is by being a man of your word or a woman of your word. When you give someone your word on something and you spin out and you can't show up for that person, you lose a little something, right? You're not able to move forward through life with your word when every day you spin out and feel like you have to cancel things, right? So there's a dance here. The dance is catering to the spin in a way of like, okay, I know I'm fragile. Let me not book these things that aren't that important right now. It's like the waxing and wane. You have to open and close. Sometimes I say yes to everything. Other times I say no to 10, 15 opportunities in a row because I'm in tune with the mood and the vibration of my body and my energy. Everything is going to happen in cycles. You're going to have a week where you can take all this stuff on, a week where you feel like you can't handle it. The essence and the trick here is to, if you give someone your word, you do your best to show up, even if it's a little bit of a sacrifice of your health and your well-being. Uh, but at the same time, always recognizing when you cross that threshold and that line of, I'm too drained. It doesn't matter who this person is. I'm canceling, and you cancel with integrity. You tell them what's up. You just simply say, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I know I gave you my word, but I can't show up." Right? Um, And so again, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to cancel on things that are really important. You're going to overdo it and spin out and set yourself back for a few days. There's no one answer that I have for you. It's that you have to create a relationship with this entire subject of the doings of life. Everyone on this call, this is not just for you. Everyone on this call, you have to create a relationship of the doings of life and your word. When do you show up because you gave your word, versus when do you call it quits because you are simply too drained and you don't have any energy for anyone else? And that is a dance, a wax, a wane, a process that will ever evolve. You'll constantly hold more and more and more voltage and more space. And, but again, within that holding of more voltage, you'll still be on a spectrum of close and open, right? Um, so, so again, I would recognize you have to create a relationship with yourself. Everyone on this call has to create a relationship with themselves and say, when do I hit that threshold of I'm torturing myself in order to be on this phone call? I'm torturing myself in order to show up to work today. That's when it's a no. When it's an inconvenience or when it's a slight burning of the candle at both ends, I say do it. I say do it because it stretches you. It forces you to be able to hold more and handle more. But as soon as it becomes like you may notice for me, there's a certain flavor of there's a voice that kicks in when I hit that point. My mind starts going into this place of hating everything and everyone. It's like just fuck you to every. No, I don't want to talk to anyone. When I'm in that place, okay, I know I hit my line. Now I gotta shut the world out. Right? Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. This is so important. So thank you for bringing this up.